What? Does this frame make my butt look big?
Hey everybody, Mr. Pyles here. Happy to work with you today. We are working with the theme Futuristic, and we're going to go ahead and get started with some drawing. Hope all of you are doing well. Today we're working with color pencils, a sheet of paper, a regular pencil, and a ruler or anything straight edge that you can use to draw with. Alright, let's dive in.
Now keep in mind, at any point during this video, you can pause to catch up or reevaluate the direction you're taking with this drawing. First, you're going to need to take out your ruler or a straight-edged item. We are going to use it to outline a window frame. Our reference of the final project is up top in the corner, so you get an idea of the lines and shapes we need to make. Now, take your time and erase as needed so you not get confused with the lines you are working with. Once we have the basic window frame, we're going to create a rough outline of our robot person looking out the window. I made mine with a TV shape head. However, you can always go back and mix it up to do another shape instead. Here, I'm going through and adding the back of the figure against the caved in part of the wall, which is where he is sitting on and against. For the shoes, I'm doing basic sneakers, but if you're a sneakerhead, I'd recommend you putting the silhouette of your favorite pair. I'm going to try and keep it as minimalistic as possible when coloring for the effect I want. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to plan ahead some basic shadow points that will be filled in with black. When drawing the hand, I like to break it down into shapes and connecting points. And we get a little too excited like me when drawing things. You may get out of perspective, but no worries. You can always go back and scale anything down you have to. Once the body is outlined, we are going to move on to the background of the image, which is what shows in the window. This also includes the additional framing on top of it. I tend to associate the future with bright buildings that go beyond current skyscrapers, so I'm going to include some here. When doing that, I'm also going to include the outline for windows on one of the buildings too. I'm keeping them merged right now, almost like a city skyline. Make sure to take your time here and decide ultimately how you want your windows to look and line up. Now that we've got more of the background done, I'm going to include a flying car, because nothing screams future like flying cars, am I right? With that added in, and the streak of light following it, I'm now going to finish adding the shadow, details, and cleaning up some of the different stray lines I have. Now, at this point, I would say in my class, skirt, so we can pause and go over one more thing before coloring. While we work on it, I want to highlight the element of art.
Space.
No, not this space. This one, or rather the idea of depth. Depth is made through a foreground, what's in front, middle ground, what's in the middle and center, and background, anything that is in the far back. There are several famous paintings that use this technique, like The Wave by Hokusai. I know you're wondering, in relation to this, why does it matter? Before we color, I want you to pay attention to how space is set up in our drawing. We too have the foreground, middle ground, and background. Knowing exactly where they are gives us the ability to decide any changes we like to make in a first or final draft. This way too, if you want to personalize beyond changing the colors, you can look at the different ways to change the background where the city is. Now, let's jump into coloring. I personally am a huge fan of the cooler side of colors, So I'm going to work with some blue and purple tones. Now, when coloring with different types of color pencils, you will see some that give more of a waxy effect and others that seem a little more matte. Either direction you like to go is fine, and both can look great in this setting. I am using Prismacolors to make the colors pop more easily, but you can use different brands in the same way by applying more pressure during use. For time basis, I'm going to flash forward, but really take your time to color in as much as you can. After filling in all of the colors, you should see your finalized project of an A+ futuristic drawing with space and phenomenal coloring. For an extension or adaptation of your coloring, you can make the project mixed media to make some of the colors pop more with ink or marker in the event your colored pencils are not giving you the look you want. But this is Mr. Pyles signing out. It was great spending time with you all today. Please tag me on any of the amazing work you come up with on Twitter or Instagram as listed below.